to put a comment in the box. Tell me what you are showing up today for Halloween as. I'm super boring. I have no costumes. Hi Facebook. Hi Instagram. Hi YouTube. Happy Halloween. Um, Comment in here. Let me know what you're wearing for Halloween. I'm not anything for Halloween this year, but my daughter's one is going as a Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, and then the other one is going as a blow up. I'm not even sure if it's a flamingo, a horse, or whatever it is, but she's going to be in a blow up, so that should be fun. Um, if this is your first time tuning in, definitely comment. Let me know it's your first tuning in. And for those who don't know me, my name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration lawyer. I represent clients all over the United States, in all 50 states, with your immigration matters. If you'd like to schedule a consultation, you can call our office. It's 407-995-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 404-333-8751 with your number so you can be called if you are here in the United States. Otherwise, you can just call us. Wild Bunch says, can I be in Florida and you represent me? Yes, we represent clients in every single state here in the United States, so it doesn't matter. We can represent you. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Tookie. Good morning, Bibi from Brooklyn, New York. Marsha, good morning. Shira says, I received an RFE for my I-130, which asks for marriage evidence. Why did I get an RFE and they're waiving off my interview? They're not waiving off your interview if you got an RFE. A lot of people incorrectly think that because they send you a request for your medical, that it means that automatically you're going to be bypassed for your interview. It doesn't mean that. I mean, it increases the chances that you may be bypassed, but it is not a guarantee that your interview will be waived. We've definitely seen people with very strong bona fides still being called for interviews, and they've submitted everything that they needed to. So you need to make sure you submit and respond to that I-130, because the I-130 approval is the basis on which you're going to get a green card with the I-485 application. Okay. 21 Kim, you're showing up as yourself. All right. Nothing wrong with showing up as yourself. Hi, Marva. Good morning. My Kim Pasa says you can be attorney Barbie, right? Black Barbie, right? Awesome. Good morning. Ari says, what can I expect after biometrics? I don't know what kind of case you filed, but typically after biometrics, depending on what kind of case you filed, what might come next is like your work permits. But again, I don't know what case you filed, so it's hard for me to give you an accurate answer. Good morning from Ghana. Creative Soul says, waiting on Christmas to celebrate Jesus Christ. Okay, that's awesome. And that's a bit passive aggressive. Listen, I'm a Christian as well. It's just all light fun for Halloween, but I'm not mad at you. I love Christmas. That's my favorite holiday as well. Good morning, Kay. Okay. Shinza says, good morning. I'm not wearing anything. I didn't do Halloween. So, all right. Simply Carrie says, are you able to represent someone from any state? Yes, we represent clients in all 50 states. So your location is not a problem. Cynthia Tudu, this is your first time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Crowned with Beauty, first timer, and Zamani, first timer. Good morning. Bio on YouTube says, good morning. I filed an EAD in September and I've gotten my receipt and done biometrics. Do you think this is an indication that my EAD will come out soon? It's really hard to tell. It all depends. There was a time where we used to be able to predict and say, okay, you did your biometrics here, most likely your EAD will come out at this time. But now with biometrics bypasses and just sometimes them issuing the biometrics really early, it's hard to tell, but hopefully, it comes soon for you. Good morning, Yolanda. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me? Let's see. How long after marriage is it good to apply for a visa? If you mean for a spousal visa, there's no timeline. As long as you and your spouse are ready and you meet the requirements and can prove that your marriage is real and that you have joint sponsors, that you're able to sponsor your spouse or vice versa, you should be able to apply. Marlon in Fort Lauderdale, good morning. Brown says, I got approved for my work permit, but I sent it to the wrong address. What must I do? You're going to need to reach out to USCIS and give them your change of address so that they can send it to the right address. Generally, USCIS wants to see that if, let's say, they sent it to the wrong address, that it was returned back to them and then they will send it back out. All right. Omar Brown says, what happens when you receive a transfer request form? Nothing really. Sometimes they send things to a processing center because the main place that processes your case, that reviews your case or adjudicates your case. I'm trying not to use legalese, but adjudicate means they're going through your case to make a decision. They may not have the capacity to process it. So for instance, like with VAWA cases, are usually sent to, in the past, used to be sent to Vermont Service Center, where they will process and adjudicate your case. Now, because of the amount of filings they get, things are being sent to Lincoln, Nebraska, and typically you'll see later on during the process, your case will be transferred to Vermont because that's where they're going to actually review your case and make decisions in your case. So hopefully that helps with the understanding. Does getting a courtesy email from the field office mean the green card interview will be waived? No, it doesn't mean that. It could be, but it doesn't mean that. So always prepare that you would have an interview. And if you don't have one, then great, but always prepare, okay? After submitting a valid case, do I get an adjustment of status or what next? Okay, so let me just talk about VAWA real quick because I know that there are some newcomers here who might not know what VAWA is. VAWA is Violence Against Women's Act. This is an act that allows both men and women, children and parents who are married to U.S. citizens, children who have U.S. citizens or green card holder parents, and the children are under the age of 21, or parents who have U.S. citizen children who are over the age of 21, get a 10-year green card if they can prove that they are in that eligible bona fide relationship, they're a person of good moral character, and their spouse has been extremely cruel and abusive to them. Okay? And so the question you asked was, what happens next? Typically, if you filed your VAWA with your adjustment of status, once they approve your VAWA, then they will move on to reviewing the adjustment of status portion, which is the portion that will give you the green card. The VAWA portion just approves your VAWA and gives you what we call deferred action, meaning it's like a deferral from deportation, meaning they're not going to deport you. And you'll be eligible to continue to renew your work permits, regardless of what happens with the adjustment of status. So that's kind of like the difference. Sex Clarity says you can travel with you. I'm not sure I understand your question, so you can ask again. Maki Mapasa asked, do you do nanny visas? No, I do not. Work permits, depending on what kind of case you file, work permits take different timelines. On average, if these are based on marriage or pending adjustment of status, you're looking at anywhere from like 4 to 9 months to get your work permit, okay? So Carol says, do marriage certificates and birth certificates need to be notarized before submitting them? No, you just need to send your certified copy of your birth certificate and your marriage certificate because they're a certified copy, meaning copies of the originals. You don't need to notarize those documents. The documents that you want to notarize are documents that are coming from, affidavits from friends or family to support whatever it is that you are filing. Okay. Sumi says, good morning. Is it safe to travel outside of the US for 1 week after filing for citizenship, waiting 4 months now? Yes, you are still a green card holder. You can travel outside for 1 week. When you come back in and you're scheduled for your interview and you attend your interview, when they're going through the travel portion, just give them the updated and amended dates to let them know I want to amend or add this other date of travel. That's not a problem. Diane Star, my contact is 407-995-6567. Let me just put that in the ticker. So you should see down scrolling through the ticker where you can add that. If my daughter is 20 years, can she give me a green card? Sekou, it depends on if your daughter is a U.S. citizen, she'll need to wait 1 more year. She needs to be 21 and a U.S. citizen before she can submit an application. And her submitting the application will depend on if you entered the country with inspection or if you entered without. If you enter with inspection, she can file for you directly. If you didn't enter with inspection, then you may have to consular process, or if she's in the military, then you may be able to get parole in place and do it that way. Good morning. The affidavit of support, can they sign for someone else who is also waiting on their interview and for a couple putting in the adjustment of status papers if they earn over 100K per year? That's not how the decision is made. As far as if you meet the income for affidavit of support, the income is determined based on the family size of the person that is doing the affidavit of support. So I don't know who your joint sponsor is or whatever the case may be. I would literally need to know what is their family size, how are they determining their income, what are we looking at? Because someone can say this is your income, or say I'm self-employed, I make 150K, and then when we look at your adjusted gross income or your tax transcript, it's showing like 20,000 or 30,000. So it's not a question that I can answer online. Basically, I would have to assess the person's financials, documents, and family size. You are awesome. My green card was expired on Wednesday and my extension was in the mail the next day. Yay, good job. I'm glad. I have a friend, she received a 2-year green card based a 2-year marriage-based green card, but her husband got another girl pregnant and wants a divorce. What is your view on this? I mean, I don't have any view on infidelity, but if she's planning to divorce her spouse, she can still file for removal of conditions. She doesn't need to wait till the 2 years or 90 days before the 2 years, as long as she can show that even though she is getting divorced due to the infidelity, that her husband, that her marriage to her husband was a legitimate marriage, and here is the proof that her marriage was legitimate. When you're dealing with conditional green cards, you're not going to be cut as much slack as you're cut when you're submitting your application for the first time and you don't have the legal documents or the Social Security or the EAD to get certain documents. When you're a conditional green card holder, USCIS is usually looking to make sure that you have documents post your green card that show that you are truly a legitimate couple. Okay, let me just type it in there. This person is asking me to repeat my number. Let me just type it in there and see if it comes through. So you should see my number now. I wish I can pin it. That's my number, so you can just take it down while it's up there. When someone has received 3 times prima facie, is there any sign for that? That's normal. So prima facie, the first prima facie you receive. So again, this is a term that many people online may not know, but prima facie determination letter is basically when you submit a VAWA application, that's the first thing that you get. If just on the surface, very surface high level, they determine that there's enough for them to start reviewing your case in fine detail, you will get a 1-year prima facie determination letter. After that, you'll start getting them in 6-month increments, right? So if the person you're referring to has received it 3 times, it means that they got the 1 year one, they got the 6 months one, and they're now under the 6 month one, which means that they're still within the 2 year review timeline. Most VAWA cases take anywhere from like 2 years to 2.5 years, so they are still in the window of that. If USCIS made 2 typos on your name, will that affect your case, or will your case be delayed? I'm not sure what you're typing, but if they made a mistake, you can certainly request that online for the typographical error to be fixed, especially if they've not yet given you any documents yet. You want to fix that so that by the time your documents come, it will have the correct name. Because if you do get your green card or your EAD and it has the wrong name, in order for them to change that, you must return the incorrect one. And for a lot of people, they're not very happy about that, but that's just what it is. Sex Clive says, where can you travel with your travel documents? You can travel to anywhere where your own home passport from your own country legally allows you to travel. Okay, the travel documents is only for the United States. It is to allow you to enter back into the United States. Otherwise, if you're traveling outside of the United States as a non-US citizen, you should be looking at your home country's passport and where does it allow you to travel, or where do you need a visa to travel to. Okay. I have a friend, she received a 2-year marriage-based green card for her. Okay, well, I think I answered this. I don't know if you retype that again. Andreen said, I filed for my VAWA case on my own. Can I use it to finish the process? You can certainly consult with us, and then we can review and see where you are in your case and what was submitted, and then we can determine if it's something that we can continue for you or finish up for you, or do you need an amendment? So all of those things, we'll need a consultant to see, your initial filing, to see how strategically your application can be submitted stronger. For some reason, the texts are coming in jumbled, so some are like on top of each other. Tanya says, how long would it take to file for a minor? The answer will depend on if you are filing as a green card holder or as a U.S. citizen. As a U.S. citizen filing for a minor, and here I'm going to refer to minors like when a parent is filing as anyone under 21. If you're doing an adjustment of status because they're here in the United States, it could take anywhere from 9 months to 15 months on average. Whenever I give you guys timelines, it means that, it could be before or after, and then if you're doing consular processing, you're looking more like at 24 months, because the I-130 takes about 12 months. Some people quicker, some people later. Again, it's a 9 to 15 month process. And consular processing in Jamaica, because I see you wrote Jamaica, we're definitely seeing about a year between submission to them being scheduled for an interview and them being approved. Okay. Does a joint sponsor need to provide only the last previous year of tax returns or 3 years of tax returns? The only requirement is the only required one is the most recent taxes. So now that we're in 2023, they must provide 2022. However, they need to list the numbers of 2021 and 2020. Now, if they want to submit, if they're like teetering on the edge or on the cusp in terms of their income, and they kind of want to show that their income is kind of like stable and like this is kind of where they fall most years, they can certainly submit 2021 and 2020. But those two are optional. The most recent tax year is the most crucial one. What's next after? I can't even answer that question. Guys, I gotta go. I've run out of time. I hope you guys have an amazing day today. For those of you who do trick or treating, have lots of candy. Have a great time. Let your hair down, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.